Good afternoon, sir. I'm joining us from Jagat Singhpur. I must say that the for last 4.5 months, it has been really a tough challenge, and till now we have been quite successful in handling it. As you know that our district is having one of the deepest ports of India, Paradip Port, also having the largest refinery, it's the IOCL, also having the largest fertilizer plant, it's the IFCO, and also having the largest edible oil factory, it's Adani Wilmar, and also having one of the largest sponge iron plant, it is ArcelorMittal. So this is one side of the district. Another side is one of the largest paddy producer of the state, also the largest milk producer of the state. So you could visualize the number of workforce from the outside state, like throughout India and also inside our district, has been quite huge. And besides that, it is the number one literate district of the state, is having the 90% literacy. So uh, I must say that till now, for last 120 days, whenever the case was detected in the country, till now, not for a single day any of the industries was closed. This is our greatest achievement. I can say that because these are all the lifeline of our country. We ensure that none of the industries is closed, be it refinery, be it port, be it fertilizer, be it edible oil. So that we stand our head high, that we could maintain the country's lifeline in with flying colors. That is our biggest achievement, we could say. The strategy was that from the day one, before the case broke out in the country, and whenever the case was detected in China, we took the step from that day. We asked the port chairman that any ship which is coming from China, Singapore, Australia, Italy, so all these ships should be quarantined inside the Bay of Bengal, and within 24 days, no ship should be allowed to cargo off on the Paradip coast. And whoever was having any sort of ILA and SARI cases, we used to send our tug inside the bay. We used to carry those patients and send it through a dedicated ambulance to the hospitals at Cuttack and also at Jagatsinghpur district headquarters. But luckily, none of those cases turned out to be COVID positive. The second strategy that we did, that whenever there was a movement of the laborers, because most of the migrant laborers were started moving, but we made it a point that it's all the laborers who were working. Am I audible?
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Please
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Yes, okay. So all the migrant around 4 to 5,000 labor force were working at Paradip. So we ensured that out of these 4,000 laborers which are working, no one should move. Hardly, I think, around 500 to 600 moved for their family pressure, but almost all stayed back. And we provided them all the facilities inside the industrial area of those clusters. And till now also, we have our major focus has been on Paradip. We have been able to establish a dedicated COVID hospital at Paradip, so that any of the positive patients which has been detected inside those areas could be immediately shifted to Paradip. And we have also made a dedicated COVID care center at Paradip, having 300 bed capacity, so that the patients can be also accommodated there. And we have also tied up, we have said the IOCL and other big ticket plants that they should tie up with the government approved agencies for testing. Like every day we are conducting around 200 tests there, but we also said that you should also have 200 plus tests for your own employees, so that as much as test could happen in those areas, we could track them and we could also isolate them. And we'll also prevail upon them to have a dedicated COVID care center inside of those all industrial areas. Like IOCL is having its own, Paradip Port is having his own, IFCO is having his own COVID care center. So all such things, so that any of the patients is having, so they are accommodated there. This is one of the key strategies that we have followed, and we have been successful in handling it. Paradip is till date is only having 80 number of positive cases still detected in those Paradip industrial clusters, and out of that 60 have been recovered, 20 are till date active cases. But around we have made testing of around 1500 plus testing of those industrial workforce, which is almost 40% of the people who are working there. It's really it's an achievement that we could say. Then coming to the other part of the district, as you know, we made 405 quarantine centers. We have 198 GPs. So as per the policies of our government, so in each GP we found around two number of quarantine centers, what we call as temporary medical camps, where any of the migrant laborers come from outside state could stay there for 14 days. So to our district, around 25,000 people have come from 14 states of India, including all hotspot states at that time, from Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat. So also states the people have come, and we have made a very nice strategy that anyone who would be coming would be reporting at one place. So in a district headquarters, we have identified one dedicated team of young officers and officials with all database. So anyone and only our vehicle were going and bringing them. We are making them registered, putting them into a big college where having 3 to 4 academic blocks were there. We have dedicatedly made it for the migrant laborers, and we took swabs from the point there, and then with our own vehicle we could carry them to the temporary medical shelters or the quarantine centers. So that is why our district was in the green zone till the date of Shramik special train started. So the first case was detected in May 3rd. So from the March 14th to May 3rd, so from the lockdown 24th to the May 3rd, there was no case. We are in a green zone. And when the Shramik special trains started coming, so we followed the same strategy of bringing people to one place, making them first the health screening with their thermal scanners, any of the labor having any health, like whether fever or cold, then taking their swabs and sending them to the quarantine centers. So in the quarantine centers, they used to stay for 14 days. Then we would, thereafter they go to their villages.
So that's precisely what the process mostly followed all across the country. But as far as the measures for preparation on digitalization front is concerned,
Yes,
post COVID,
yeah.
that's
Yes, I'm
kind of unique to all the districts. So can you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talk about that?
Yes, surely. I could proudly say that Jagatsinghpur is the only district, not only in the state, but also one of the few in the country to implement e-office. We have all entire offices of our district covered under e-office. We don't have movement of any physical files in the collectorate, in blocks, in tahsils, in medical offices, in agriculture offices, and it's a great achievement.
So this has happened during COVID, or the plans were there from before?
No, just 1 month before. It's a coincidence actually. 1 month before we just started it, but it's a great help. We didn't know that the pandemic would come. So that has actually helped, and we did not have any movement of our officials coming to our offices. We entirely did the work from home, and none of a single official work till date has hampered. So this is one of the biggest achievement. The e-office that we started in the month of February, we took actually 6 months preparation from the September 2019, but we could make it in the February 2020. But ultimately, it came as a big, immense help and one of the greatest achievement for our district. Secondly, we also developed a dedicated public grievance portal, janasahayog.jspur.org. As you know, it was also nominated That has also become very handy to for the people to lodge their grievance, to people to come forward. Then thirdly, we also developed the all the offices. We made it mandatory that all offices should have the Twitter handle, and in
Wonderful.
and
And the
this
social media as well.
yes, our office is also leads in that. If you could see our Twitter handle, you will see all the public offices, the all the blocks, the tahsils, the medical office, the DRDA, the agriculture, the horticulture, veterinary. So all the branches we have the Twitter. So anyone who is having any grievance, immediately it could tweet, and we try to dispose of the grievance within 24 hours of the same day, even within 1 hour also. For example, the quarantine center is not cleaned, the drain is still choked, or suppose the vehicle is stranded. So for the immediate grievance of doing this, and we could immediately do it in within 1 hour. So this is also one of the major digitization process that we have gone through. Then fourth, actually, another important thing that we have done, that we have all this a WhatsApp group. I think almost all the districts might have also done that in the WhatsApp group, so that we could also the same for our district also.